Good morning. I'm in Whitstable and I am going to go. I'm just sorting. I've got my spider on my hair. I think it's all right. I thought it needed adjusting, but I think it's okay. Welcome back to Little Drops of Wonderful. This is my channel where I talk about all things knitting and crochet and yarn and craft and all of that lovely stuff. There is a new yarn show here in Kent. I live in Kent, on the coast at Whistable Castle. There's only about 15 or 16 vendors, I think. It's very small. I've never been in Whistable Castle before. And Whistable happens to be one of my most favourite places on earth. So any excuse to drive down here and look at yarn and maybe have a little wander down to the seaside as well. It's about 10:30 in the morning. The show started at 10. I got tickets. You could buy tickets for the morning and the afternoon. I got both because I didn't know when I was going to be here. I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm completely on my own. I'm not meeting anyone. I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious and nervous. So I am going to try and film it, and hopefully this will become a vlog. But then if I don't film it and this doesn't become a vlog, you won't have seen this bit. So there's no point in me saying that anyway. If you're watching this, it has become a vlog. Right, so I'm wearing my ranunculus, which I don't often wear because I need to add some to the length of it. But I've got a little vest underneath that's a bit longer, so that makes me feel a bit better. I do have a coat in the back, but it is about 16 degrees, so I don't think I'm going to need it, to be honest. This is nice and warm. And I've got my rosewater shawl, which is made in River Knit's Starry Night, which I think is a lovely combo. Yeah, other than that, not much to say other than I'm very nervous and we're going to walk to the castle. It's about, I think it's about a 5-10 minute walk from here. This is the car park we always park in, so I know it well, which is why I'm here, and it's easy access afterwards to have a little wander down to the seafront as well if I fancy it. Right, let's go and see what the Whitstawool, did I say that's what it was called? Whitstable, the new yarn show, has to offer. So here is Whitstable Castle. It was built in the late 1790s and was originally a private family home. Today it's a venue for weddings, parties and events, like yarn shows. This is the first Whitstawool, created as there was no other shows in this part of Kent or in the sort of Kent-Sussex area. We were greeted by some lovely bunting as we went in. I started with Knotted by Niche. I only just saw Nishita at Yarndale, but this time I didn't resist her beautiful yarn and I made a very exciting purchase. You'll have to watch to the end for my purchases and to hear what I thought of the show overall. Folkestone Harbour yarn, fellow Kentish lass Susie. I fell in love with her crochet arrowhead shawl pattern. And her Moomin bags. How cool are they? Uncatching Baig. I really hope I'm saying that correctly. It's an Irish name. It means this little cat or little small cat. She sells cat related and inspired crafty accessories and patterns, and I'll talk more about this shawl shortly. This is Madrigal Yarns. I have had my eye on his self-striping for a while. He sells sock sets, but you can swap out the contrast mini for one of your own choice if you like. Just browse and choose. I then headed outside to the studio, which was like a little shed. Really cute. This is Farm Crafts, who is Sue. She creates hand-dyed and hand-spun yarn from mohair and wool from her own Angora goats and her sheep. It's a small farm in Kent. Her store was full of lovely things. And next door to her was the Crochet Chain, who is Diana. I've often seen her at shows, but I've never had the chance to properly chat to her.
And this being a small show gave me the opportunity, which was really, really nice. She's such an interesting person and an amazing crochet designer. She had so many patterns that really tempted me. I love this river ripple cardigan. Looks really cosy and comfy. Amanda, Little Lycac yarn. Again, I only just saw Amanda at Yarndale, so it was lovely to see her again so soon. This is her Christmas yarn. It's called Gingerbread House. It is gorgeous. That pattern there with the yellow frilly bit is her full steamer head sock pattern. Of course I had to film the toilets to show you how nice they were. Historic looking toilets. Under the olive tree is Jem. She's a yarn dyer and knitting designer. She sells gorgeous beaded shawl patterns. This is the Beauty of the Rain shawl. This is her Gone Fishing shawl, and all of the fish are beaded. And this beautiful thing is her Afternoon Tea shawl. Oh, it's just lovely, like something out of Jane Austen. The Knitting Viking is Jane. She's one of the people behind Whitstawool. She sells knitting kits and patterns and hand-dyed yarn, and you can visit her at her own little retail shop in a barn at Badgers Hill Garden Centre. I think she's there Thursday to Sunday. I love the woody socks. I thought they were really cute. These black and white socks I saw, and I told myself I'd remember the name of the pattern, but I don't. Sorry. Then there was a little bit where you could go outside and see the turrets and then have a little look out from the top of the castle across Whitstable, which was really nice. It was supposed to rain all day today, and it was just glorious and sunshiny and autumnal all day. Couldn't have been more perfect. Here we've got All Wool That Ends Wool. They're from Manchester. They sell hand-dyed yarn inspired by the countryside, the coast and the garden. I didn't film much, but I did make a purchase. Stay tuned for that. This is the Little Grey Girl. Another gorgeous stall that I visited at Yarndale recently. Gemma sells stunning yarn, bags and patterns, and I love how she uses colours together. That crochet shawl there is for 12 20-gram minis. It's the Woolsier by Amber O'Brien, and it would be perfect for an advent. Then I had a little stroll down into Witstable. I adore Witstable. It's a lovely place to visit. If you ever get the chance to go and walk along, you can walk through the harbour. It's a working harbour. You can walk through there. There are lots of little shops and stalls. It's a pebble beach and it goes on for miles. You can walk all the way down until you find beach huts and end up all the way down in Sea Salter. There's a lovely high street too with cute restaurants and a craft shop and a bookshop. And I watched these two guys getting ready to go for a windsurf. They literally just walked straight in and off they went. But I don't need any new hobbies.
Well, that escalated. I wasn't really intending on a shopping day. Apparently, in my last yarn show vlog, which was my Yarndale vlog, thank you very much everyone for your comments on that so far. You've been really, really enthusiastic, and that I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it, as I will enjoy making this one, which is going to be a lot shorter. But in that vlog, I blamed Suzanne of Green Lampkin Yarn, who I went to Yarndale with for most of my purchases. It turns out I don't need Suzanne to make those decisions. I'm quite capable of spending far too much money on far too much yarn that I don't need, but I want. Quite capable of that all by myself. Okay, I've paid for my parking. It was absolutely extortionate. This car park never used to be £10 for 2.5 hours, but it is now. I'm going to have some water. I'm so upset about the parking charge. I'm going to have some water. So I was going to get a hot dog. One of the people I bumped into was Cataline. Oh, I really apologise for getting that wrong. I can't believe I've forgotten that already. I'm pretty sure it was Cataline. And I bumped into her several times at the yarn show, and then I bumped into her at the seafront, and she had the most amazing looking hot dog, and I nearly got one of those. But I kind of want to get a Marks and Spencer's car picnic, so I'm going to do that on my way home. And then I'm going to get home and we'll sit down either today or tomorrow, and I will show you everything I bought, because I did buy a few very exciting things. But I'm hungry, so let's do that first. Thought, even though it's nothing to do with yarn, I thought I'd tell you what I got for my lunch. It's not quite the cosy little relaxing car picnic I'd hoped for. It's absolutely manic here, really busy. So I've got a banana. By the way, my spider went because it was so windy down at the sea. I had to take the spider out. And then I've got a pastrami New Yorker, like a bagel with pastrami and pickles and things, which I really love. And my favourite from Marks and Spencer's, I got the Marks and Spencer's marzipan and a Diet Coke to drink on my way home. But first, fruit. Oh, this looked like it would be a good one, but opening it, I'm not so sure. Nope. A disappointing banana.
Hello, it's the next day. It is Sunday and it's the afternoon, so it's been a little while. It's been a full 24 hours since I got back from Whitstable. So I'm going to show you what I bought and tell you my thoughts on the whole thing. But first of all, I just wanted to give a little mention to the vendors that I didn't film, because I didn't manage to film everybody. There were 15 vendors in total. And I didn't manage to get into film, well, hang on, I didn't film Kate Whiting Designs because she sells mainly patterns and the most beautiful handmade dolls. And I didn't feel like I wanted to ask to film that because it might have been a bit awkward for her to maybe say no if she didn't want those kind of things shared. So I didn't film her, but I did have a chat with her and she was absolutely lovely, and her dolls that she sells are beautiful. If there's any way I can link those, I will do in the description box, along with linking everybody else. Fibre and fleece I didn't film either. It was really busy at their stall when I was there, and I was filming the Knitting Viking and I couldn't get in to film it. Same with the knitting gift shop. When I was there, it was quite busy and they were talking with people, so I didn't have the opportunity to ask if it was okay to film, so I didn't. But always enjoy the knitting gift shop when I do see them at shows. And Namo Leo, who specialise in selling linen threads and linen-based products, but they also sell yarn as well. Again, I didn't film that at the time because there were the stallholder was chatting to someone and I didn't want to film without asking. I've just been in to see my neighbour next door, hello Fiona, and she did buy 2 skeins of lovely yarn from her. So those are the 4 I didn't film, but I'm going to link all of the vendors underneath because there was only 15 of them, so we're just going to link them all. I've changed top, by the way, haven't worn this in ages. This is, I'm wearing a black bra underneath. I should probably be wearing a flesh coloured one, but this is what we're going with for now. This is the As If tee by Shay Johnson of Knit and Crochet. So this is Aaron Waite, and then it's intarsia mohair. I very rarely wear this, even though I love the pattern and love the colour. Me and mohair, oh no, or is this, it might even be alpaca. Anything like that I don't get on with. So I might make another one, possibly using part of one of the purchases I have here to show you. So let me shut up and show you what I bought. And then I've got a bit of a giveaway for you at the end as well. So let's start. I'm just going to pull things out. I've got some notes in front of me just to remind me of things, just in case I need reminders. Because, you know, it was 24 hours ago now. It might as well be a year ago. So first of all, I bought a couple of patterns. I bought the Arrowhead shawl pattern from Folkestone Harbour Yarn because she had a sample of this hanging up on her stall. And it was so gorgeous, and also it's a real stash buster. It takes, so this is the pattern. She was selling printed patterns for £5, and it's been signed by next door's dog, because when I went next door to do a bit of a show and tell, I got a nice little paw print on it to write me. Thank you, Lottie. So the main colour uses 2 full skeins, and then the contrast colour that's here and that form the little spiky bits at the end, that's nearly a whole skein as well. And then the contrast yellow, that she said that's sort of roughly 30 grams. So it's a good stash buster for some of the skeins that I've got in my stash, of which I have many. So that is the Arrowhead shawl. That's a crochet pattern, and it is by Folkestone Harbour Yarn, who was dressed as a cat when I saw her. It was very warm in there though. It was quite warm outside, and I think in the end she had to abandon the cat costume. Then I have been looking for this shape of shawl for a long time. So when I saw this hanging up as a sample at the stall, I immediately was like, right, I've got to buy this. So this was at the Uncatching Baig. I think that's how you say it. Put it on the screen because it's Irish. I think it means little cat or little small cat or something. All of her things are cat themed. And she does patterns, and this is called the Follow the Moon shawl. It's designed for fingering weight or 4-ply weight held double with a lace weight. I have particular yarns in mind for this, which are kind of a heavy 4-ply or fingering weight, and that's what I'm going to use. And the shape, I'll show you the shape without showing you the pattern, is this. So it sits around your shoulders, you know, I can't describe it, like a shawlette, a shoulder wrap. It's something I can imagine having over my shoulders whilst I'm reading on a cold night in bed. That's the idea. So I had to buy that. I think again that was £5 from Uncatching Baig, or however you say it. Just going to have a sip of Coke. Okay, what else did I buy? Let's do some yarn next. I didn't even go with the intention of shopping, and I managed to do quite well with the shopping. I stopped at Madrigal Yarns. I've had my eye on his yarn, his self-striping in particular, for quite a while. And every time I go to yarn shows, I look at his Friends themed self-striping, and now he's got Golden Girls themed self-striping, which I loved equally, but for some reason bought none of those and went for a Christmas one instead. So this is Christmas Bauble, and what he had at his stall was like a rotating carousel of minis, so you could swap the mini out. I was going to swap it for just an undyed one because his sample had an undyed one, which I thought looked lovely, but in the end I went for this blue, which is the exact colour of the blue in there. Because I've got undyed in my stash. If I want to use undyed when I come to it, I can. So that's what I got from there. So this is a very narrow self-striping. I think it's only just a few rounds per colour, and I'm really looking forward to these. I think these are going to be my Christmas socks this year. Yeah, so that is from Madrigal Yarns, and I'm extremely pleased with this. Is there anything else I want to say? You get 80 grams of the main colour and 20 grams of the contrast. And speaking of self-striping, this, I think, is a very exciting thing. I'm going to put one of them to one side, which I'll talk about in a minute. I went to All Wool That Ends Wool. They had a whole little space in the turret, which was really, really lovely. And I saw these, what are they called again? Self-striping editions. So I got a couple. These were only £3. They come in pairs. And what you can do with these is each one of these little mini skeins has, I think, 4 rounds. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5 rounds of self-striping colour. So if you are making a pair of socks with a plain yarn or any yarn, you can insert this at the top around the ankle, or you can insert it around the foot, and you will just get some self-striping for sort of that amount, just a couple of inches of self-striping to insert into your sock. What a fantastic idea. I loved that. So I got the bright neon rainbow and the sort of jewel toned rainbow. If you can hear that noise.
It's me trying not to interrupt.
Oh, I thought it was the cat. I thought that was the cat doing something and I became concerned. It's Dan.
Oh, if I'd known you were filming that way round, I would have just snuck in.
Yeah, it's just Dan coming through. I should have said at the beginning, I'm filming at the kitchen table on a Sunday afternoon, and I will without doubt be interrupted. So this next purchase, I was so impressed with the marketing of this, or the display of this, or the idea that she'd had for this. So this is from Farm Crafts. This is Sue. She's another Kentish person, like us, Dan.
Well, I'm from Norfolk, but I live in Kent.
You've lived in Kent longer than you've ever lived in Norfolk.
Almost.
Yeah.
I've certainly lived outside of Norfolk longer than I ever lived there.
So now that we've established Dan is officially a Kentish person.
I'm not Heinz 57, but, you know, licorice all sorts. But that's it.
What are you talking about?
I'm a bit of all sorts. All over the place.
Please leave. He's gone out to put washing in the washing machine and he's left the back door wide open, so now you can probably hear outdoor things. This was from Farmcraft, who is Sue. She has a farm in Kent where she has her own Angora goats and her own sheep. And she spins yarn from their fibres, and she dyes their fibres and spins it as well. And she spins art yarn from those fibres, and she had it all hanging up in strands as reusable and, you know, biodegradable tinsel decorations for your tree. So, and she had all the Christmassy colours together, but you could go around and select whatever you wanted, obviously, and they were £2.50 for each strand. Now this is doubled up, but they are really, well, now that's quadrupled up. They're really, really long. So I got, let me hold it all up. How on earth am I going to show you these? So I got a sort of moss green, a Christmassy green, and a undyed with splashes of green and pink. How pretty is that? So I'm either going to put this on the tree, or I'm going to hang it on the mirror that's just to the left of me here in the kitchen as a kind of decoration. In a way, actually, this could be a year-round decoration, couldn't it? I'm just so happy with it. She was lovely to talk to as well. So I got three of those, which I thought were an absolute bargain and such a good idea. And then, well, this was actually the first thing I bought. I'm not doing this in any kind of order. When I went to Yarndale with my friend Suzanne, we visited the Knotted by Niche stall, and I know I like her yarn because I follow her on Instagram and I always love everything she puts out there, and her stall was beautiful, and Suzanne bought her Halloween colourway from last year on a particular base that Niche does, and it is her brushed merino lace. So this is where we're going to be talking about floof. I got this year's Halloween colourway, not to be outdone by Suzanne. Oh my goodness. I love this so much. The fact that it's got so much black in it means, so Niche was actually wearing her top made with the last year's colourway like this, which has got the same amount of black in it, and it almost makes it feel a bit goey outy, like it's something that is a bit evening wear with the splashes of colour against the really dark yarn. So this is this year's. It's called Spooktacular. It's on a lovely shiny label, shiny. And this is brushed merino, so you get the effect of floof without the itch that you get from alpaca or merino, mohair or anything. This just feels like soft, and there is no prickle, nothing, just soft like wearing normal merino. I love it. So this is, so it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. 100 grams equals 600 meters. So I'm going to find a good project for this, and I'm very excited to have it. And now I don't feel left out anymore from Suzanne's. Okay, a couple more bits to show you. Oh, no, one more bit to show you. From Amanda at Little Lilac Yarn. She had a basket full of mystery bags. I can't resist a mystery bag, so I picked myself one up, but I picked up two. So I'm going to do a little giveaway. I've got one of these and another one of the self-striping editions from All Wool That Ends Wool. I find that really hard to say. And I'm going to do a little giveaway. So to win, shall I give you, what should I give you? I think it said you get a sticker, a stitch marker and a mini skein. So I'll send you the bigger one along with the self-stripe edition and a little note and one of my pins if you don't already have one and so on. A little yarn show giveaway from me to you. If you would like to be in with a chance of winning that, just what could you do? What comment could you leave? By Neon Rainbow. Make sure you get the term Neon Rainbow into your comment, and I will announce the winners on
my next podcast. Today is Sunday the... No.
I will announce the winners in my podcast at the beginning of December, in my November wrap-up. Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it, Mia? Thank you. In my November wrap-up, which will be in the first weekend of December, I will announce the winners then. So include the term Neon Rainbow. Please bear in mind that I only ever announce winners of things in my podcast. I won't announce it in the comments. I won't approach you or anything like that, other than to tell you to email me once you hear on the podcast. So don't fall for any scams. So that is your prize. I'll put that to one side. And I'm going to open my one to see what's inside. They're all different, so don't worry. How exciting. Feels like Advent already. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Mia, you like this. So I have got, I've got a little extra as well. I have got a beautiful pink. Look at that. That is lovely. Lovely pastel pink with a gorgeous little springy stitch marker. And then for the stickers, I'm going to put one of these on my laptop. I've got starry yarn balls. And Mia, look, it's you. We've got Mia the cat with a bunch of yarn. It actually does look a bit like you, Mia, but you're not ginger, are you? And in addition, I've got a little heart-shaped notepad, a little heart-shaped, not notepad, what are they called? Post-it notes. Heart-shaped post-it notes, lovely. I can leave little notes around the house for my family. And that is it for my purchases. What else do I want to say? Oh yes, a lovely Gemma at the Little Grey Girl gave me a leaflet to let me know that there is another Kentish event coming up in March next year. I can't go because I will actually be in Lancashire at the time. But it's Yarnival. It is being held at the Amelia Scott venue. I will link it underneath. It is the amelia.co.uk. It is on Saturday the 7th of March. Yeah, Saturday the 7th of March. It's a one-day crafting event, and that is in Royal Tunbridge Wells. So I'm just going to hold that up there if you want to screenshot it and then look it up, because that might be a fun thing if you're in the area. But yeah, it was a brilliant show. It was really, really small. I had a little chat with the lady at the Knitting Viking, who was one of the organisers, or the organiser, and they were saying that they were really keen to run a show in that area because there's not a lot down in that part of Kent or in that part of the world, and they were keen to kind of keep it quite small and quite friendly, and it really did feel like that. And when I was talking to my neighbour, it was her first yarn show, and she said she was really pleased it was like that because for her it wasn't overwhelming. There was plenty of room. It's wheelchair accessible despite being in a really old castle. There's lifts and things like that. There's toilets. The parking was only a 5-minute walk away where I parked. It was quite expensive. But yeah, it was a really nice historic venue. It felt calm. I could get into all the stalls. I saw people in wheelchairs going about and they could get into the stalls. And it was just a fun place to have it. I really enjoyed it. So long may it continue. I hope they run it again. I will definitely go next year. And to everybody that said hello, by the way, and came up to say hello to me, that was so lovely of you. Thank you. I always love it when people say hello, and I apologise profusely if I was really dorky and awkward, because that's just how I am. But it was lovely to speak to you, even if I was. I'm going to go and edit this together now and hopefully get this up this afternoon. So I will see you next week for the November wrap up. No, that's not true. Not unless I'm seeing into the future. I will see you next week for the October wrap up of everything that I got up to craftily in October. I'll see you then. Until then, happy knitting, happy crochet. Bye.